Hey guys, and welcome back to Meshascorner. I'm going to show you how to make this amazing bacon jalapeno mac and cheese. These are the cheese that I'll be using today. Now, I ordered Gouda cheese. When the people came, it was hot honey Gouda. Child, I'm going to use it anyway. I'll have substitutions in my description box, so make sure you check that out. So those are the cheese that I'll be using today. This is a jalapeno. I'm going to use 2 jalapenos and remove the seeds. Of course, you want to tame that down a bit. This is the bacon I'll be using. All ingredients came from the Aldi grocery store, if you're wondering. So I'm going to cook the bacon, get it nice and prepped in the air fryer. Y'all know it's 1,000 degrees in Texas. It's actually 6 o'clock in the morning. Because, you know, I don't want to put the oven on when the heat has already risen. So this is like super early in the morning. So I'm going to grate the cheese, of course. It's always better when you grate your own cheese. But hey, who am I to say don't go get the bagged cheese? Get the bagged cheese, girl. I get it sometimes too, period. Because who got time to be grating cheese all the time? Which I don't even know how I had the time this morning to grate this cheese, honey, because baby peanut be on me like white on rice. So I grate each of my cheese on separate plates like I'm doing here. And then I'll just show you guys the next step. You could change the cheeses if you prefer. You don't have to use the combination I use. I actually kind of the combination threw me off just a tad, but it was great by the end of the cook. So, you know, it was still good to go. Next up, I'm going to prep the jalapenos. This is about a tablespoon of butter, and then this is the jalapeno. Like I said, I took the seeds out and just did 2 jalapenos, so it's not super hot or hot at all. And as a matter of fact, this mac and cheese recipe is not hot. It's not super spicy. It's not any of that. It just added that nice, smoky, delicious, spicy flavor. This is the bacon nice and done and ready to go. This is where you want the jalapeno. Some people put it in there raw. I think I've done that before in a previous video, but today I decided to cook it off a bit. A quick intermission. Peanut's father was about to go to work, so I decided to make him an bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich in the same skillet that I sauteed the jalapenos. So I'm going to season it with this garlic spice seasoning in case y'all don't know how to make a bacon, egg, and cheese, okay? Don't judge. But the pot was already there. The camera was already rolling. I said, let me just let it go and do what I got to do. I put blackberry jam on one side of the bread. When I put it on both, it's too much. So I would just put it on one side and then I build it from there. I know somebody is just dragging me in the comments now. Why would she do this? Okay, it's cool. You all right. Calm down. See, the Lord said, be patient. Anyway, this is what it looks like, and yeah, let's move on. So now these are the ingredients that you'll need to build the sauce. We have butter, flour, the prepped jalapeno, and the bacon, and half and half. You can use milk. I don't suggest using heavy cream. I feel like it's too heavy for all those cheeses and everything. So I'm going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Remember, all ingredient measurements will be in my description box. Make sure you check it out. And you want to melt your butter down like I'm doing here. And don't talk about my whisk, okay? I have all kinds of metal whisks, but I don't have a plastic one except for this one. I mean a rubber, whatever it is, except for this one. And that's why I had to use it in this skillet. Added the flour. You want to cook it out for about 1 minute or so. Don't get it too dark. Okay, we're not making gumbo. So you want to saute it down until it gets nice and you'll have like a nutty flavor. And just like I'm doing here. So then I'm going to add half of my half and half. You don't want to just pour the whole thing shebang. You'll ruin your sauce that way. So I'm going to mix this out, get the flour nice and mixed in and smooth. And then once it starts to thicken up, I'll add the other half. All right, so now I'm just going to season this. You can season it however you want. I'm using a roasted garlic herb spice. I'm not going to put too much salt or salty spices in here because you already know the bacon and the cheese. I do suggest waiting to add salt until you add all the bacon and all the cheese before you add salt. You will over salt your food. And now I added some chili powder or paprika and some granulated garlic and mix this up really, really well. Again, the type of cheese that I'm using, I don't need to overpower the sauce with a bunch of seasonings and spices. It will be too much. However, this is your mac and cheese. You make it however you want. Once the sauce comes together, now you're going to add the sauteed jalapeños down in here, and this just looks so good. The color contrast, like I'm digging it. Next, I'm going to add most of the bacon and leave some back to sprinkle on top, especially if you're making this for a crowd or your family. You want them to know what's in it, so I'm going to sprinkle some on top, and you know, they'll know it's bacon jalapeno. So now I'm going to add the cheese down in here. All of the cheese were 8 ounces. You want to add 4 ounces of each one into the cheese sauce. Again, use the cheese you prefer. And this is how it's going to look. I put half of all 3. And I'm just going to mix it up, and it's going to melt down. Don't worry. Make sure you turn the heat off. The heat needs to be off when you add the cheese. So you turn off the heat, and this is how it's going to look. Nice and melty, stringy, delicious. So now you want to put your pasta down into your baking pan, baking dish. I used about a pound of pasta. Then, my God, today, honey, look at this cheese sauce with that bacon and jalapeno all throughout. By the way, I did not use any straight up salt in this sauce because it did not need it. I know at some point when you taste it, it doesn't taste super salty or super, you know, seasoned, but it happens at the end because the bacon, you know, flavor and the jalapeno soaks in once it's in the oven, and then it just, you know, it all marries together. So don't over salt it, you guys. So you want to mix this in. I added the rest of it. I added half first and I added the rest, and look how cheesy and creamy this looks. You can't mess it up. It's the same combo every time. I'm talking about the sauce. Okay, you can't mess it up. It's fail proof. And now I'm just going to sprinkle the rest of the cheese on top. And then I'm going to sprinkle the remaining bacon all over top. You could put more or less, or put the whole thing in within the pie, the macaroni and cheese. And I'm going to put it all over top like this. And next I'm going to take some jalapeno and put it right on top just like this and bake it in the oven. And no, this is not going to make it hot. It's just for decoration. It's optional. You don't have to do it. I'm just being extra. And now I'm going to pop it into a 375-degree oven. 25 minutes later, this is how it looks. It smells so amazing in my house. Just nice and bright early morning, okay? And it just looks so delicious. And again, you know, it's comfort food. It is what it is. This is how it looks once I scooped it out. Like I said, I was super worried about the double smoked cheese and the wrong cheese that they brought me, but it kind of sort of worked out, you know. Again, I'm gonna put the options in the description box, and you don't have to use the cheeses I used, but this was still just as good. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you make this recipe. If you do, tag me on my social media and let me know what you think, and I'll catch you on my next video. Bye.